As said in my review, Horizon Forbidden West is better than Horizon Zero Dawn in every way, and that's also thanks to a lot of quality of life features that I always wanted during the 500 hours or so that I played the original. So I want to go over a ton of awesome features they added in the sequel that you totally want to know about and also don't want to miss, because some are a bit hidden. We can now, for example, finally change the time of day. Once you get to the real Forbidden West, pretty early on, you can find shelters like the one over here on the map, but there are many more. And once at a shelter, you can sit next to the campfire and progress the time to morning, afternoon, evening, and night. Select the one you want, and then you will just see the time move in front of you, and then bam, it's morning, for example. Also, thanks to the amount of hours, you can see what the time of the day currently is. Although, if you want to see the precise time of the day, they can also bring up the photo mode and see it there. So yes, you're no longer forced to play during night if you don't want to. Like for me, I want to record footage where you can see what happens. So night was always an issue for me in the original. But now I can just always spend a fast travel pack to go to a shelter, change the time, and then continue playing. Yes, fast travel packs are back, and there doesn't seem to be a gold fast travel pack. At least I haven't found one after playing 60 hours. You can easily buy the regular variants though for 25 metal shards at almost every vendor, so it's not that big of an issue. It pushes you to explore more as well. But new is that if you are next to a campfire, you can fast travel for free to other campfires. So always make sure that when you're close, you hit circle so you do not spend a fast travel pack. Also cool is that you can now select locations to fast travel to instead of only campfires. You will then still spawn at the nearest campfire, but it does make going to specific locations a bit easier. So you can also select a settlement you want to fast travel to, and in the big Tenakt settlements, you find both a new painter and a dyer. At the painter, you can select face paint from different tribes that you earn throughout the game. You can get them from some main missions, but also from side missions. And very nice, in the quest log, you can even see if a particular mission will give you a face paint before you even start it. And then for 10 metal shards, you can apply them at one of the painters, and then you will see them at all times. So also when talking to people during combat. But in the photo mode, you can easily switch between them, but only for that particular shot. If you want to change them during the gameplay, you have to go to a painter again. Even cooler is the armor dye vendor though, and I want to touch on way more cool new features. Of course, if you like the video so far, then leaving a like on it would really help me out, and subscribe for way more Horizon Forbidden West content if you haven't already. So the armor dye vendors can also be found in Plainsong and some of the larger Tenakt settlements, and here you can select multiple colors for the outfits you've already unlocked. The first few unlocks are cheap, but if you want some of the special color combinations, then you will need blooms. And maybe when exploring the world, you already found these flowers when, for example, climbing, as they tend to grow on mountains. So totally, when you see these green icons, grab them, because they will come in handy at these armor dye vendors. I really hope they add a transmog system later on, where we can use the look of one armor while maintaining the stats of the other. Still, changing the color is a nice customization option, and even returning Zero Dawn outfits now have different color options too, making the Karja Blazon even cooler in my opinion. You can, by the way, easily miss this outfit. I talked about how you can get it in my video where I talked about way more cool things you want to get early. I will link to that at the end of this one. Pouch upgrades are back and can now be done at the brand new workbench. You can, by the way, also, for example, find at one of the shelters. Here you can also upgrade weapons and gear and even craft ammo if you have the special skill. But just like in Zero Dawn, being able to carry around more arrows and resources is really important. For one, killing every animal you come across is very smart for these animal goods, but then you will still not have enough for some of the later upgrades. Luckily, the job system, where you can create a quest for resources you need, can also be applied here. So totally do it to upgrade the amount of hunter arrows you can carry, for example. The game will then tell you where the nearby spot of this particular animal is, which can be super handy for smaller animals that normally don't appear on the map like machines do. So totally smart to set aside some time for these upgrades early on, as they will make your life throughout the rest of the game way easier. Creating a job also still works for gear and weapons you want to buy or upgrades you need, so then you will also see a location on the map telling you where the machine is that you need to hunt. Well, a cool twist that can happen now instead of the machine that should normally be at its site is that you can run into rebels who've already taken out the machine. Like here, the Thunderjaw was dead in the distance, but by killing the bandits and looting their corpses, I was still able to get the parts, even the tail, which you otherwise have to shoot off. I could also still loot the Thunderjaw without killing the machine myself, so a really cool twist that seems to happen sometimes. And as you might know, when you loot something but your inventory is full, it will automatically be sent to your stash. So also make sure that you check your stash often, and by simply holding square, you can instantly restock on resources, so you will not run out during a fight. But just like any bank, you can also store items here that you don't need anymore, so you can more easily navigate your inventory. It's just amazing that you will never have to skip loot again in Forbidden West, because everything you collect will be saved and can then be grabbed when going to the stash. But we also got more changes compared to Zero Dawn, so while you still need to go to cauldrons to override machines, it will not be enough anymore for certain variants. By going to this icon in your base, which you will by the way unlock later on in the game, you can view all the machines, and also if you still need parts to unlock the override. Like here for the Bellowback, I still need the primary nerf, so I can also make a job in order to grab it, and after taking the machine out, getting the loot, I can return to this table, and now it will let me override this machine. So totally nice to keep track of this table to get the unlocks, although it's not needed for the mounts. One thing from Zero Dawn that is by the way back in regards to mounts is that you're able to hold X to follow the road. Just holding the button will let your mount move faster, and when you're on a road and you hold X as well, you will just stay on that road, so you can more easily go to your destination. And I, by the way, also talked about how you can get the Claw Strider mount in that early things video. We'll link to it again at the end of this one. Now, one thing you actually start the game with is the Shieldweaver armor, only it doesn't work anymore. Well, you can kind of fix it, or at least have the power from the previous game back, but this time it's reserved for a Valor search you find at the bottom of the Survivor skill tree. Upgrading it by spending extra skill points will make it way stronger, and they can activate it from the weapon wheel after equipping it, so you basically have the Zero Dawn Shieldweaver again. A blue bar will appear over your health bar, and when you get hit, the damage will be absorbed, and then when your blue bar is empty, the red blinking lights appear, and then it of course needs to recharge. Big difference, of course, is that it's now only active for the duration of your Valor, so your purple bar, which is still quite long if you activate it with a full Valor bar. And yeah, I now rock it with the legit Shieldweaver, but you can now use this effect with any armor set in the game, which is probably smarter because these armor sets will have way more resistance than this starting gear. But yeah, it is interesting that now instead of having just one OP armor set in the game, you can apply that effect to any outfit you want, making builds also a little more interesting. And that's just a brief look at that Valor search. We will be testing out all the Valor searches very soon. I also talked about some of my favorites on the best tips video. We just got way more Forbidden West videos coming your way and already up on the channel, so subscribe if you haven't already. A like on the video would really help me out, and check out that other Forbidden West video by clicking on the screen. For now though, I will speak to you in the next one. Goodbye.